All right, here we are. We're sitting over in the Adirondack Park tonight, right on the edge of it.
Right on the southeastern edge of it.
Right, right on the
say
edge.
right on the edge.
Yeah, and Morgan and I have a special guest tonight, Mr. Todd Mead. So
Here I am.
Glad to have you.
Yeah, we're really excited for this one. We've been looking forward to it. And you might not know this, but I've been planning on trying to get you on the podcast pretty much all year. You only know as of the last about month or so.
He has mentioned it a lot. He's like, I gotta get in contact with Todd.
Because I told you before we started recording, you are the author of my favorite hunting book.
Oh, good. That's good, right?
Yeah. So it's Backcountry Bucks from the Adirondacks and beyond.
I'm not even sure. You might be able to even see it up there in the back corner if you see up by the book.
Yeah,
it's one of the famous covers of the Adirondacks.
It is. It's a great book. And like I told you before, too, I read it when I'm sitting. So
there you go.
When I'm sitting,
make your own story.
Well, crunchy days, I like to. It helps me pass the time on the dark sits.
I guess that's good because you're not falling asleep, right?
Yeah, and I'm not in my phone because I feel like when you sit on your phone all day, it like rots your brain.
Yeah, it might. Being older, I'm not sure what that.
Right. Well,
I barely know how to use the phone.
And you know what never happens with a book? The battery never runs out.
The battery never runs out. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. The only thing that just keep flipping the pages.
I'd say we'd get you a new one, but it's out of print, so I guess you're out of luck.
Yeah, I know.
You better not let that thing get wet.
In all honesty, I've been looking for that book for years. I think when I started the North and East Heavyweight Whitetails page, one of the biggest things was I posted like one of the first books that I ever bought that I started reading. The number of Adirondack guys were like, if you love hunting books, you got to get this book. You got to get this book. And
it's a really good book.
Because you have 3 or 4.
I've written 3 books.
3.
That's 2 on the Adirondacks.
Yep.
And the other one was more like public land expanded.
To be honest, the first one I wrote because people told me if you hunt big woods, you can't kill deer when you sit down. Can't kill big deer regularly if you sit down. So I'm like, So I just thought about it, and I looked at all the deer I have mounted, and I'm like, I killed almost all of those sitting down. So I think I'll write a book on it. So the thing that people don't get is all of my books, I did everything.
Yeah.
Like I published it, and I had to market it, and that's the only reason why people ever found out about me, because I don't like brag, but I had to do something to sell the book.
Yeah.
Right.
So then I just created like a social media page when social media kind of first started, and I created my own website.
Yeah.
So I got it out there that I was going to release the book, and there was nothing on the Adirondacks at that point. So I released it at the Yankee Sportsman's Classic in Essex Junction. And I said, if I make my money back, I'll write another book. So I released it up there. The show started on Friday. It went Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I had made all my money back by Saturday.
Nice.
Really?
And I had
that's awesome.
I had like $7,000 invested into it.
No kidding.
Wow.
So
wow, that's awesome.
And,
what year was that?
2010, I think.
Yep.
And I had gotten divorced 3 years earlier, and I always wanted to write a book, but I just didn't.
Right.
So I was devastated when I got divorced. It was kind of unexpected.
Yeah.
And so when I wrote the book, my buddy says, just write the book and we'll take care of it afterwards. So it only took me, I think it took 3 weeks to write the book.
No kidding.
Wow. You really dove right into it.
I just wrote it, and it was easy because it was just like memory recall, and I just looked at all my, all my notes and stuff. So it wasn't, it wasn't difficult. But then putting it together is a different thing, because I always worked in editorial, and my buddy Dan Ladd, who's the editor of New York Outdoor News, I worked with him in my regular job. So he said, just write the book, I'll take care of it, because he worked in desktop publishing in the same company I worked in. So I wrote it. He kind of put it all together, paginated it, and the rest is history.
Gotcha.
And I went up there, and actually Joe Donito bought the first book that I sold.
Oh,
really?
That's cool.
No kidding. That's
cool
awesome.
history right there.
So,
now, and you said you went to school for that too, right? That English.
I went to school for English. I wanted to be an English teacher.
Yep.
And then I did a little bit of, sitting in on classes, because at the time I was dating a girl whose father was the vice principal at Glens Falls High School.
Yeah.
So he invited me in. I sat down and then I talked to my father about it afterwards, because I was in college, and I'm like, I don't think I want to do that because it won't allow me to do what I want to do with my life, which is I want to hunt. So, and if you're a teacher, you get a couple days off and that's it.
I know you and I have a mutual friend who finds that out pretty easy.
So, I mean, it's funny because now that I'm older, I'm like, maybe I should have been a teacher because I could have, I'd be retired probably. And, but at the same time, it's like my father said, I would have missed all the other stuff. So
That's true.
I've never been.
You would have missed your prime.
I've never been wealthy, but I've lived pretty rich life.
Right.
So
that's awesome.
That's the way it should be, though. That is the true meaning of wealth in my mind.
So
yeah, how well you got to spend your time.
Right.
Yeah, because if you're not
you don't
doing
want
what
to be,
you love,
you don't want to be on your deathbed looking back with any regret.
I probably will still look back and be that way, but at the same time, I can't complain because if I do it again, I mean, it probably cost me a marriage, but I'd do it again. So.
Yeah, because I remember reading a lot of those college stories you wrote about hunting in the Catskills. Those are some of my favorites in the book. You had some really good ones in there.
Is that just because the guy didn't know what corn was?
Yeah, there's a lot of good stories in there, man. Like the bowl rings a bell for me. That was a really good story because I'm convinced in my own mind that I've hunted that bowl in the Catskills.
Actually, the bowl was not the Catskills. The bowl was just 25 minutes from here.
Oh, dang it.
You probably drove by it on the way here.
Probably. So. Well, I thought the bowl was in the Catskills.
No, that one wasn't. No.
Dang. Well, that's funny. Well, now I know.
Now I got to read it so I know what you guys are talking about.
Well, you can borrow mine.
We might be able to hook you up if I can dig through some of this stuff.
It's funny. Well, it's funny because he would be the third friend of mine that I would lend the book to, and I've always gotten them back.
See, guys like you are the guys that I couldn't stand because I wrote the book and I'm trying to make money, and then I would like to know honestly, I would like to know how many people read the book compared to how many
a lot
I sold. Because that's what happened. Like people started lending it out, and then it just you don't really know. You never know.
Right. Oh yeah,
you don't know
that
the
makes
reach
sense.
that it had.
I think I bought my copy off of Amazon in probably 2017.
I think I wrote that book in 2012ish.
Yeah, so I got it a few years.
The only
after.
places I've been able to find them is eBay, but man, what
$375.
Yeah, I mean what they're going
somebody
for.
at work said the other day, I found your book on eBay. It's or Amazon or something. It's like $275. I said, man, I wish I knew the guy selling it.
Right,
supply and demand. Right,
it is.
That's what it is.
Well, absolutely. Well,
have you ever thought about reprinting it?
No.
It would take the value away.
No, well, the problem is if I reprinted it, I just don't think I'd sell it. I mean, I think I could now, like working where I work, I could probably reprint it and sell it there, but I haven't really looked at that.
I bet there's going to be a lot of guys listening to this that are going to want to.
It's a big investment.
Sure.
If you did reprint, could you ever do? I don't know how the book world works, but could you ever do like a limited?
You can
like
now
pre-order?
because Amazon right now you can do stuff on Amazon. I haven't looked into it, but I know you can print like 50 books or something.
Right.
But like I always went through like a bigger printer. So
Gotcha.
You could always open up like pre-orders and see how much interest you have.
Yeah,
because if
you guys are young and energetic, I'm not that energetic.
Well, I don't know if you had like 500 people pre-order it, that might.
I'll tell you what. If you get me 500 pre-orders, I'll give you a cut.
Well, hey, you heard it. You heard it here on the Big Buck Theory first.
Yeah.
And if you're interested in Todd's book of the Backcountry bucks, you need to reach out to us, and we'll let you know. And that way we can get back to him.
I bet you we could get your 500 pre-orders.
Oh, well, gosh. Yeah.
You laugh. I'm not kidding.
No, because I have anybody that I have ever talked to, and especially listening to him talk about the book, just the cover itself, is enticing. It makes me really want to read it because the Adirondacks in my mind is a special place. That's really where you see a lot of the people utilize the canoe entry and like doing that kind of stuff. So like when people see that and
I mean, I will say, I don't say that lightly that it's my favorite book because I've read all the hunting books.
Right.
The reason why it's probably my favorite hunting book is because it's literally deer stories from your life.
Oh yeah.
It's like you're sitting down with a cup of coffee. You and I are shooting the shit. It's not like a how-to or a this is how it worked. It's like, yep, and this deer. Yeah, every deer has a story too. Like it's interesting,
right?
And like I'm not the biggest reader you'll ever meet by means, but it's a really easy read,
right?
In that sense. But if you're interested in it,
I can read, but it's usually books that I really like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dr. Seuss, hunting books. Right. There's only so many, but yeah,
fifth grade reading level.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, 5th grade. But anyways, so you're also very steeped in the archery world.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about your passion with archery and kind of where it's taken you?
Yeah. It took me last week to the bottom of the barrel. Made me consider retiring. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, I started archery. I've shot a bow since I was a kid. And when I went to college, I was going to play baseball. And then I'm like, I don't want to play baseball all year. So I'm like, I think I'll try something different. So then I joined an archery club. I went to a school that was kind of in the middle of the country. And I joined an archery club. And then I decided I want to see how good I am. So I went to a couple shoots. I was the worst person there. And then I joined an indoor league. I was the worst person there. And I thought it was pretty good, though. And then...
it's all that matters. If you think you're good, eventually you will be.
Like Isaac says, he's a delusional optimist. So,
yes.
So I was determined that I would... the reason I started was because I missed deer. I mean, I wanted to be able to shoot deer without thinking about it.
Right.
So I started doing it, and then I realized I was pretty decent at it. And then, then I started going to national events and got some podium finishes where I was competing. Like in my class, back then there were only 3 classes. You shot pins, you shot a movable sight, or you shot pro. There was no other classes.
Yeah.
So I went to my first national event. I think there were 1,200 people in the class, and I finished 5th, and I shot a 0. So if I'd even hit the target, I would have won. So I was like, I'm like, and the 0 was because the release broke. The spring that held the gate shut broke.
Oh no!
And it's a 0 because the arrow was shot. So then I'm like, I'm pretty good at this. So
yeah.
Then I started into it, and I met a guy who owned a bow company, and he put his arm around me because I shot with him, and he had won what they call the National Triple Crown. His name was Chuck Neese. He owned CSS bows, custom shooting system bows, and I shot with him the following year after he'd won the Triple Crown at the first leg of the National Triple Crown. He put his arm around me. He says, "Let me tell you something, kid," because I was your guys' age. And he says, "You don't learn a damn thing on your good days." He says, "The bad days is where you learn the most." And I just always kind of remembered that.
Yeah,
and,
a lot of truth in that.
Yeah. And then I, eventually I had shoulder surgery, and I was told by 3 orthopedic surgeons I'd never shoot a bow again or throw a ball. So I came back, and after a lot of rehab, I was able to shoot a bow again and throw a ball. So I won what you call the IBO World Championship a couple of times after that. And then when I turned 50, I'm like, I can still compete against the guys I competed against when I was younger, and I turned pro. So
that's awesome.
I went into the senior professional division. I saw some success there and made a lot of good friends, and I'm still doing that now, even though I'm on the downward slope to 60.
Yeah, right.
So, so I mean, I guess I could walk away from archery now, and I'd be completely satisfied because I went through all ranks. I call it from Joe to pro, and I saw success at the highest level you can shoot at. Yeah. So I feel like I've had a successful career. I can walk away and be good with it.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. So, well, yeah. And the other thing that stands out to me is, you mentioned the part of doing it was to get better, to be a better bow shot at deer.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to think about it. I think about people like you talking about all the achievements that you have going from what you were to what you are now, and people like Levi Morgan that I swear you guys have ice in your veins. Because it is like to be able
to compete under the gun,
but in front of 12,000 people, it's like.
I mean, he's an entirely different level. But I mean, I guess you say I'm a working man's pro.
Right, but still.
But like I travel. with Jacob Sluzars, who is arguably the best all around professional archer right now.
Is he the young guy from this area?
Yes,
and, I've heard of him.
Yeah, and he's phenomenal.
Yeah,
and that's ice in the veins. Like he's a different level than me.
Right.
But, but I've succeeded at a professional level, but I don't look at myself like those guys. I mean, they're totally different. I mean, so
it's good to be humble.
Even if you're,
I was gonna say you're a very humble guy.
Yeah, it's
even
good to
if
be
you're
humble.
a professional, there are different levels of
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
But at the same time, there's a lot of people that shoot professionally that have never
Killed a big buck.
been on a podium or been in a shoot off. Because the goal of most people like shooting professionally, they want to be at a shoot off. So I've been in multiple shoot offs. So
Right.
I mean, and that's the top 5 professionals. After you shoot like 40 targets or whatever qualifying targets, you make it into the shoot down round.
Right.
So that's the goal, because you can't be on the podium unless you get into the shoot down round.
Right. And it's crazy you say that too, because probably the better majority of the Levi Morgan reels that pop up on Facebook for me, he's in a shoot off with somebody.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're intense. I mean, it's weird. It's kind of like deer hunting for me, because when I get in a shoot off, I have no idea how it's going to go until I draw my bow, and I'm like, oh shit, my legs are shaking. I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Because if your base is
wobbly.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes it's like, how am I going to do this?
Right.
I mean, one of the shoot-offs I was in, my father was holding the umbrella for me, keep sun out of my eyes or whatever, and I shot the first arrow, and we're sitting there talking before the next arrow, and they're scoring the arrows, and he says, I've never seen you shake like that in your life. And I said, you ever been in one of these?
A little tense, huh?
Yeah.
What's more intense, drawing on a big buck or a shoot off?
No, a shoot-off.
Really?
It's not even comparable.
Money involved.
Not even comparable. No, you never think about the money.
Really?
No. The money's just whatever.
Yeah.
It's the pressure
Yeah,
of...
it's self-induced pressure. I mean,
Gotcha.
you want to know what it's comparable to? Like, I mean, I don't do it so much anymore, but like when I was younger, it's like, oh, here he comes. I got to kill him. I'm going to kill him. Yeah, he's dead before you see him.
Right.
And then suddenly he's running away or doing whatever because you messed it up.
Yeah.
But because you get ahead of yourself instead of just step by step by step. And
Right.
Like now when I see a deer, I'm like, okay, get on the shoulder. Okay, I'm on the shoulder. Squeeze the trigger. Pow. And but like in the old days, I'm like, oh, there's Brown. Pow.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? And then I figure it out afterward. But,
Right.
I mean,
Right.
but
that's good stuff.
It's definitely more intense. Shoot-offs are way more intense. Like another thing too is, which I always ask my friends, I'll ask you guys, do you get more nervous before you shoot the deer or after you shot and it's gone? When
Right
you feel
after,
it?
for sure.
I was going to say,
After.
for me, probably definitely, that's when the dump happens. That's when I shake.
for me.
Like,
after.
I don't shake when I see the deer, but I get this, like, I don't know how to really explain it other more than it's buck fever. I mean, but it's like panic mode. It's like I overthink everything. Like I think, oh, I got to shoot right now because he's gonna run, but I don't start shaking until after.
I'll bet you 98% of the people I've asked say the same thing you guys did. I get nothing afterwards. It's dead. Just
Nothing,
Really?
huh?
yeah, it's all before.
Really?
kidding.
Yeah,
That's
for me,
All before.
for me, it's like tunnel vision on the deer, and then I'm talking to myself in my head with a megaphone. Like, okay, you better, calm down, breathe.
I don't. It's weird. Like
Shoot, and
I don't
then-
have that. Like when I see the deer, it's like I'm like,
Yeah, you get,
Right.
you get
but
the
it's
adrenaline.
it's not like overwhelming. It's. I
Right.
mean, even now, like I mean, I get a little bit.
Yeah.
But not like afterwards. I'm like calm. Just
Yeah.
Really? Well,
Like,
you've done it enough now
yeah,
too.
I don't get it like the shape. Like it's weird because everybody talks about that, but I don't get that.
Not afterwards. Well, everybody's different too.
Right.
but-
So that makes me very, very curious. So, what are the feelings that you feel when you do walk up to a buck after you shot him?
I feel a little sad.
Like empathy?
Yeah.
And
Like, to
that's
be honest, I'm in a documentary that's going to be released next year. It's called American Hunter.
yeah.
It's been being filmed since 2013,
wow.
and a guy from Australia is doing it.
Yeah.
He has no dog in the fight. He's not a hunter, and he's not an anti-hunter. At the end of the documentary, it's for you to decide: are hunters bad people?
Gotcha.
Or are hunters just normal and we don't know enough about them? So, like, I'm one of 5 featured people in the documentary.
Where is it going to be released?
Unknown right now, possibly Netflix.
Oh my gosh, that would be cool.
Yeah. Wow. Originally, it was going to be probably PBS, but then PBS took a route that is a little different now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know where you're going with that one.
So
a little woke.
I don't know where it's going to be released. It all depends on the funding. But like ultimately, I don't know where it will be released, but it'll be out next yearish. And we just finished it. Been working on it since 2013, and he just flew here from Australia and finished it. Everything he needed from me, and it was like maybe 3 weeks ago.
Wow, that's cool.
And that's going to be pretty awesome.
And I sat through this time, like I did a 4-hour interview like this with him, and I did another 8-hour interview.
Oh my gosh!
In another type thing, and it'll probably be on there for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But,
he pulled what he wanted out of it. Yeah.
I do remember he asked me in one of the things, and he doesn't know anything about it. When he took on the project, he knew nothing about hunting.
Right.
So in the first 8-hour interview, he says to me, how can you explain deer hunt? Like, why do you go back and kill things again? And I said to him, I'm going to explain this in terms that you might understand it. Why do people do it again? I said, I think they do it the same reason that serial killers just start killing. And I said, because they get such a high off it that they don't know when to stop.
Right.
And so they return to it because it gives them that adrenaline. It's like they don't think they're going to get caught, so they keep on doing it and doing it. And and I told him that, and he just looked at me like I had 2 heads. I'm like, well, maybe you wouldn't understand it. No, I'm not a serial killer.
Well, in a way you are. You're a serial killer of bucks.
Right.
But just not in the sense that...
But it's,
But I mean, that could go...
We seek the adrenaline.
Right.
Sure.
And that could go for anything. I mean, look at rock climbers. I mean, they're always looking to climb something higher or go further or,
How about golfers?
Right.
They get that feeling when they make that shot, you know?
Right.
I mean, you can boil it down to the same for everything you do.
But it's something that stands out to me is exactly the comment that you just made, because I actually just spoke with a gentleman about this down at Huntstock that we were at, is I don't think people understand, killing is not the easy part of it. It's really not. It's
What's
probably
my least favorite?
It's probably the hardest part of it, but that's what needs to be done to have the success or whatever you're looking for. But I've always said that. People have asked me, what do you feel like after? I'm like, to be honest with you, I feel empathy. It's not, I don't know how else to, it's not an empathy at a level that, no, I don't want to do it again, but it's at an empathy, at a respect for the animal, because I just took his life.
Yeah.
But he's going to feed my family and he's going to, you know what I mean? But it's still taking a life.
It is.
Regardless. So
One thing that people don't understand is it's you learn the difference between life and death.
Yes.
And you learn it intimately. Yeah. And I mean, in hunting, there are hunters and there are killers. Mm-hmm. I'm not a killer. But I know people who are killers.
Yeah.
And I don't think most killers respect the animals that they hunt. And it's just all about numbers. Oh, how many deer can I shoot, or what can I do with this and that? And I brag about this, but when you kind of become one with whatever you're hunting, it's a little bit different.
Right. Like
this deer here. Mm-hmm. I'd hunted that deer probably for 4 years.
Wow.
And when I finally killed it, he walked, I was on this rock, and I was sitting on this rock, and I looked, and he appeared. I saw him coming, but he got there and he just stuck his nose up. I'm like, oh shit. And I didn't have any time to wait. I probably should have waited, but I'm like, I'm going to shoot right there. Bang, I shot. He took off running. I shot again. And then the second one, I got him right. Texas heart shot. And then he went down. And I walked over there and I just rubbed it was wet that day too. And I just rubbed my hand down his neck and onto his back, and I'd finally killed deer that I'd been trying to kill for quite a while. And that deer was 7.5 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably like 105 or 110 inch rack or whatever. But I mean, it's a 7.5-year-old deer. How many people do you know that have killed 7.5-year-old deer?
Not many in the Adirondacks.
That actually have them aged.
Right.
Very few.
Very few.
And even at that age, I mean, unless you have it like send it away and have the tooth sectioned or whatever. I mean, you're guessing if you don't do that.
Right.
Sure.
So, but and that's the thing too. Like, I mean, I guess I've killed some nice deer. But like what you guys asked earlier is like, no, I've had some of them scored, like the bigger ones, but like most of them, I've never had them scored. I mean, because it doesn't matter if the deer's old.
Right. Well, it's not what it's about for you. Yeah. It's not about the score. Yeah. I guess back to what we were talking about before. For me, I definitely feel a lot of sadness when I kill a deer. I definitely makes me sad because it's like that thing was thriving in its element. Mm-hmm. And then I came in the element and I killed him. Whereas he would have lived out maybe another 2, 3, 4 years doing exactly what he was designed to do, having a great time doing it. But I also feel a sense of accomplishment, and I instantly think about all the meals that I'm going to have. Right. Yeah. It's deeply.
I mean, honestly, I don't think about anything I'm going to eat. Like I'm there to kill the deer, and like, I mean,
sure.
Like, I don't sugarcoat it. Like, yeah, I like venison. But, I mean, I maybe it's shallow to say, but I'm there to kill a big deer.
Right. Well, no, it's that you're being honest.
Right.
I mean,
I mean,
like I think sometimes people are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, I think about this and that, and I'm like, I say, bullshit. I mean, you're there to kill the deer. You want the big antlers.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, I'm going to eat it, but I mean, venison I eat all the time. But,
yeah.
I mean, like this deer, like I felt bad afterwards because I'm like, the game's over. What am I got to find? I got to find a new game now.
Sure.
Yeah, and, I can see that.
Yeah, and then it's funny when I killed this deer, I was trying to kill a different deer also. Like there's 2 deer I was trying to kill in the same piece of woods, and the other deer was. It was a giant 7-pointer, like biggest 7-pointer I've ever seen. I had a bunch of pictures of it. I killed the deer, and I called my father on the radio, and I'm like, I'm headed out. I think I can get out before dark, because we're a long ways in. I'm like, I think I can get out before dark. You just do what you got to do today, and I'll meet you wherever I am when it gets dark. And I killed him at 7:30 in the morning, and so I'm plugging along, doing my thing, getting out of the woods, and I hear a shot, and I'm like, And I got on the radio. It's my father. He's like, I said, what is it? He says, I think it's a 7-pointer. And I'm like, I felt kind of bad because I'm like, I wanted to kill that fucking deer. And I got a really nice deer, but that's the deer I really wanted to kill. Like I wanted to kill this deer, but that's the deer I really wanted to kill.
Yeah.
And because it was just unique. And so then I'm like, and he told me, and I'm like, I felt kind of down because I chased that deer for longer than this deer.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it never got bigger. It was almost always a 6-pointer, but that year it had a brow tine. Like
no kidding.
Little tiny brow tine. I'm like, it was bigger than that deer out there that I showed you earlier.
Really?
Yeah, it dwarfed that deer. And
God.
So I'm like, I wanted to kill the deer. And then I'm like, I was happy for Dad, but I'm like, what the hell? Why can't that be me?
Right.
And,
right.
So then anyhow, we ended up meeting up, and then I looked at the deer. I'm like, that's not the deer.
Yeah.
So,
funny.
but that day, in all the years we've hunted together, it wasn't all that long ago, a couple years ago, and all the time we've hunted together, we've never tagged out in the Adirondacks on the same day, and we did with those.
That's
deer.
pretty cool.
It was on snow, right?
Yeah.
I remember the photo. Yeah, that's a great photo.
I think I recall that photo as well. Now, did you end up killing that 7-pointer?
No, and you want to know what? He, to my knowledge, he never got killed because
so he died.
He must have died. Well, I would assume so. I mean, because a deer like that, you would have heard it got killed.
He was just a mega giant.
So that brings up another point too, though, is you think about it from the empathy feeling to the other part of the feeling that I know what I've just done is part of the circle of life. Well, you know what I mean? We're also predators. Mm-hmm. Our brains are this big. I mean, you look at most other predatory animals, their brains are this big. We're sophisticated and advanced in what we do. It's to me, it's just the it's all part of the
circle of life.
Yeah, it's part of the process.
I do understand what you're saying, where you're like you want to kill the deer, you're not thinking about the meat. But I will speak for myself in saying I am very motivated by my belly in all walks of life, like in all way. Like you can ask Morgan, he's with me a lot.
Yeah,
I'm very belly. Like my belly definitely drives me.
You're not that big guy.
No, but I am an eater. I am an eater, and I swear to you, like
he's just very picky on what he does eat to stay the way that he
pretty
is
much.
Right now.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it's I guess I don't know. It's I guess I also take a lot of pride in knowing like what I'm eating, where it came from. If that makes sense. Like,
here's a question of the day. So,
sure.
Do you weigh the same as you did when you got out of high school? Or was that 11 years ago?
Oh, I weigh a little more.
Okay, I weigh the same, and I've been out of high school almost 40 years.
Really?
I would point genetics towards that, though.
Right. I was gonna say I am not as heavy as I was. Well, I take that back. No, I almost weigh exactly what I weighed in high school.
Really?
Yep, because I went down for a while. I was 220 pounds as a junior. When I graduated as a senior, I was about 180. Then I went through like 3 or 4 years. I got down to like 168. Mm-hmm. People told me I looked like I had cancer, so I put a little weight back on, and then
genetics plays a big role in that because, like, I'm sure you probably stay limber by design. You don't have to really work at it.
I'm a type 1 diabetic, so I got to watch what I eat.
Sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I have to work very hard at staying in decent shape.
Yeah.
I can put weight on
especially
real easy.
Me too, especially now being a dad with kids. It's like the good food goes out the door because you just got to feed them something to make them eat.
But also back on you're a diabetic.
Yeah.
That throws a whole wrench into, I would say, your hunting style.
Yeah, I mean that's why I mostly sit, but it might be like I bet you I put more miles on a day than most people that are tracking.
Yep.
Right.
Because like wherever I'm going, I make sure I get there before daylight, and I'll come out after dark, and it's like most of the places I hunt are not easy to get to.
Right.
So I mean, but at the same time, like I always think in my head, is anybody else dumb enough to walk in here to sit? Right. Like,
yeah. Now, I have that thought frequently as well.
Now, actually, hearing you say that, have you found that you run into more people with the admin of technology nowadays?
Oh, like 100%. Yeah.
It's opened the woods up.
To be honest, I hate Onyx because I can't stand it. You don't have to be a woodsman anymore. Like I grew up as a woodsman. I went in the woods. I learned how to use a compass. I know how to use a map. And now, like if I see somebody in the woods, they're walking by me like this.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, you're right.
To be honest, it's irritating. Like it irritates me to no end.
Well, there's no more secrets anymore either.
Yeah,
you know, like I'll tell you, I'm the first one to admit, like I know of an oak stand in the Adirondacks that is ridiculously far back, and I found it.
And everybody else
with technology. Well, no, not necessarily. But I found it with technology. I'm not going to say what technology, but I'm sure there's old timers that stumbled upon it because there's no way you would have known it other than either flying over it or satellite imagery. And, it's like I can only imagine the guys that, see me back in there or whatever, see a boot track back in there and they're like, God damn
it. Actually, where I went today, I had somebody with me that had never been in there, and he was asking me questions or whatever, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's two oak trees on top of that hill right there. There's no oak for miles, but there's 2 giant oak trees there. If they drop like early fall, it's like dynamite, but there's not like if they do drop, it's only going to be the deer will eat all the acorns.
It's not enough to sustain.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they're cleaning it up long before you could ever.
When they're dropping, it's like. He's like, holy shit. I'm like, yeah.
You know what I call a fool's oak? You know what a fool's oak is? It's a popple tree because they look the same in the fall when you're looking up at the ridges because they stay green longer. Yeah. You know how many times I've looked up and gone, oh my God, there's some oak back in that ridge back there. I got it. I get back in there. It's a big stand of popple. I'm like, God, fool's oak.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of friends that we hunt together, and I avoid most oak stuff because that's where all the people are.
Yeah.
So, and then they're all like, why do you hunt here? The deer can't eat here. I'm like, because I don't want to see all the people.
It's true.
So
it's true.
You're focusing on something totally different.
And they do live in places where there's not oak.
Yeah. Right.
You know, maybe not as
That's
many,
usually where the big old ones are.
I don't know. Well, I mean,
old. Maybe not big.
I don't know. My friends kill bigger deer than me, so maybe I should take their advice.
Hey, but if you like to get away from people, I would say you're onto something there.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah. So, can you tell us some stories about, like your book cover, backcountry Adirondack bucks, like your book cover of that backcountry
you
bucks?
Know what happened on that book cover? That's a bad story. That's a bad story. that was opening day in 1991. I think 1991 opening day.
I wasn't born yet.
Yeah, so
I was 2.
And there was a bunch of us that hunted that weekend. It was me, my father, his best friend Rob, and then our buddy Bill Manis. And I was dating a girl from college, and she hunted also. Mm-hmm. So, and it was rainy. It was miserable. So, and I was kind of taking her with me because she had not hunted in big woods before and stuff like that. So in that area, we had cut a bunch of trails, like nipped them or whatever. So we had hunted that area for quite a while. So, I mean, the trails were pretty navigable.
Yeah, I'm just going to move your cord. It's knocking on your mic. There you go.
So when we went out in the rain in the morning. It was freaking raining like crazy. And then I got onto this deer, and it was making scrapes, and it's going up this gut. And I told her, I said, we're getting close to this deer. Like, I'm going to kill it. And she was with me, and it was raining hard enough so that I'm like, I was right behind it, and I know I could kill it. I can see the imprints in the leaves. And I'm getting there, and I'm fucking sneaking. And I'm like, and there's some big boulders in there. I'm like, he's going to be in this bowl. So I said, just get ready. I'm sneaking, and I came unglued because I heard a shot, and I thought the person shot me. Like, I'm like, holy shit! Like, I mean, it was scary.
Yeah.
And so then we went up, and it was like 100 yards in front of me. I went up there. Deer was laying dead. It was laying behind a boulder, and it's laying dead there. It's the deer that's in the boat. Yeah. It was my dad's buddy Rob was on the ridge above us, looking off the side of a cliff. That deer was laying down behind a huge boulder. I was almost to it. And he had just looked over top of the ridge, and he killed it. It was laying right there.
Did he even see you there?
No, neither.
Neither
one of us knew each other was there.
Oh, really? No kidding.
So, yeah. And,
what are the chances?
Yeah. And
right. And of course, he's probably facing down in your direction.
He's looking down the hill.
The rapport of the rifle was probably a lot.
Boom.
Yeah. So he killed the deer, and then we took care of it, got out of there, and then that was the next day we were coming out, and I was standing above the. I took the photo from above or whatever, and that's them coming out with it.
That's awesome.
What stands out to me the most in that is the old red and black check. That was like the old Adirondack,
That guy there, Bill Manis, every year he used to take that boat, and it's an Adirondack guide boat, an original Adirondack guide boat, and he would row it from one end of Lake George to the other.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. So
that's a workout.
Pretty hardcore right there.
Yeah.
And so that was 1991.
That's awesome. Yeah, because
pretty wild.
The backcountry hunting of the Adirondacks, just like it's so interesting to me because it's so unique in the sense that it's only one of the only places in the country where you can truly do backcountry whitetail hunting. It really is. I mean, you can get some of it maybe in the southern Appalachian Mountains, guys in the Tennessee mountains, they go in on mules and they hunt fairly deep, or even into Virginia and stuff. But really in the Northeast, you can't really get much of it because there's so many roads, and that's why it's so kind of captivating for me.
A little bit of that last frontier.
It is. The Adirondacks is the last frontier of the lower 48 in a way.
There's trails, but it's not
many.
Maine still has big woods, but it's not with
like
all
it.
The roads.
Yeah.
It's not like
the Adirondacks.
It's big woods when you look at it, but then you zoom in and there's all roads and it's all blocked up now. It's
you
not
can drive through a lot of it. Right. Yeah, and even if the roads are gated, there's still roads.
Right.
But the Adirondacks, the thing that really drives me kind of crazy is thinking about all the bucks that live and die and never get hunted. you know, and it's
we were
like
talking about that today. I mean, there are so many deer. Like people judge everything on a camera, but there are so many deer that never even go in front of the camera.
God,
no, and then there's like so many big.
I wonder
bucks.
how many of those bucks actually stay behind that don't
go
yard.
out
to yard, that just have a hidey hole.
I don't think many. I mean, I've been all over in like areas where they yard, because there are multiple areas through the Adirondacks where deer yard.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, people don't admit it. But I mean, a lot of people kill deer when they're migrating.
Yeah,
that's when the majority.
Like I saw
think get
like
killed.
nothing for nothing. Like I mean, I know of 3 different areas where deer yard, and I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say I don't go there, because I'm gonna go there too.
Right.
Like, why aren't you?
Yeah,
right.
It's where the deer go.
Yeah. So, but I mean, that's another reason why I kind of fell off the face of the earth with social media and all that stuff. But a few years back, I saw where, I guess you'd call them influencers, killed deer in the Adirondacks, and I tracked this down. I did this, I did that, and I'm like, I had passed the deer. I had video of it.
Yeah,
it wasn't being tracked. It was migrating.
Hmm.
So I mean, I have video of it. I can show it to you.
Yeah,
It's the same deer.
Yeah.
In a yard, basically.
Probably not in the deer yard yet,
but close.
But on the migration path,
on the way there.
Yeah.
So I mean, but
and I think that it doesn't only happen in New York too.
No,
it happens a lot, and
Yeah.
I'm sure probably up in northern Maine, or northern Maine. It happens in northern New Hampshire and places like that too.
Yeah,
they have to yard. I'm sure if a season is conducive to it, and early snow comes,
the thing that people don't realize, they can wipe out the deer herd. Like it's just
In
like
a yard, yeah.
Okay, like when I was a kid, like out behind the house, I had a farm pond. Okay, and there was bullhead in there. Like, okay, great bullhead fishing. Well, it was great bullhead fishing until I caught all the bullhead.
right?
And
Yep.
deer hunting's the same way. Like if
Sure.
you're just gonna wipe deer out, like you're gonna suffer for a long time.
Yeah.
And people just don't understand that.
Right.
Like to each their own. I mean, but at the same time, like that's a good time of year to hunt. I mean, but at the same time, like, are you going to go sit in a deer yard and shoot deer?
Right.
What would happen to the northern zone if they pulled the season back 1 week? Would the deer herd
it wouldn't
improve?
matter, because like I can't remember which one of you talked about it, but like 2018, it wouldn't matter. They would wipe deer out because it started in early November.
Yeah, that was it. That was me. That was same thing in Maine. I'm pretty positive it was 2018.
They started coming.
I just remember guys talking about going up there for their normal week things, and a lot of guys went up for 2 or 3 days and started coming home because you were almost walking up to your waist in snow in places up there. And I think that happened in northern New York too. Same thing.
Yeah.
So a lot of the bucks they were shooting were headed to the yard early.
I can remember, I think it was that year, and I was just kind of surfing around social media, and I saw this guy, and he was on a forum, and he's like, I found the best place ever in the Adirondacks. He says, look at the bucks I'm getting, like, nonstop. I'm like, dude, you're on a migration trail. How can you not know that?
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah. He's like, I'm going to go back there next year. I said, good luck.
Yeah.
Like,
So to you, in your mind, is it more pure to kill the bucks before the snow hits in the backcountry?
no. I mean, I'm a firm believer snow makes a bad hunter a good hunter. You go kill a deer. You go kill a deer every year. You kill a deer on leaves. You'll convince me you're a pretty good hunter.
Right.
I mean, in all reality, like once snow's on the ground, like if you guys have never been here, right? You came here tonight. Okay. So if you're looking for me and you drove in the driveway and I'm not here, and then I walked up over the hill and down there, you could probably find me, couldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean,
Sure.
but if you, I don't think I think very few people who hunt big woods know very much about deer. I don't think they know much about deer. I really don't.
Because of the tracking, you don't need to. Basically.
Well, yeah. I mean, you need to know what deer are going to do. I mean, like, okay, deer's slowing down.
Sure, like how to track.
Yeah.
But you're saying
you
like
don't
the
know
actual
much
habits.
about. You don't know much about actual deer.
Right.
Yeah, and the more you watch deer, the more you learn about them. Like, I feel I'm pretty educated on deer.
Right.
Like on what they do and why they do it, stuff like that. And that's why I choose to hunt specific deer. Whereas, like, if you're if you're tracking, you're hunting a specific deer because you're following that deer, but it's not, you're following it because you cut the track.
Right.
You're not hunting it because you know that's that deer.
Right.
Sure.
And and to each their own. Like, do what you want to do. Like, I've killed deer tracking them. I've killed deer like if I was on a watch when somebody drove it to me.
Yeah.
There's that Adirondack term again.
Yeah, the watch.
That's a very Adirondack thing.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Well, drive and watch.
Yep. Drive and watch.
The watch.
Yeah.
But like, remember my first time.
It's always either been posters or sitters, and then
Adirondacks is watch, drive and watch.
Yeah.
But like, I remember my first time. My buddy Kevin told me about this infamous watch called the blanket watch, and I was like, "What is a blanket watch?" I'm thinking a watch on your wrist, and he told me this story about it and everything. But it's just such an Adirondack term. I don't know, it's just interesting. Yeah. The culture in the Adirondacks is very like isolated from the rest of the Northeast, which is interesting to me as well, because Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine is one and the same, I would say. It's almost like we're one state in a way.
Right.
The way we do things, the way we talk about things, and then the Adirondacks is its own separate little thing.
Right.
And the sizes.
I can agree with that.
And the size is similar too.
Yeah.
Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, and then the Adirondacks is like similar sizes. But
the thing about the Adirondacks, which a lot of people don't know, is it's vastly different in different places.
Like, it is.
Like even today, like I had a guy with me who'd never been in the area that I hunted. And he's like, I can't believe how different the woods is all through here.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Like you can go 100 yards and the woods looks totally different than what it just did.
Right.
And
it's got a lot of mix.
It's just different, and it's different from like down here where I hunt down here. Like this is loaded with oak, so I'm gonna go hunting acorns.
Right.
And if there's not acorns, I'll find a place down here where they are.
Right.
I mean, so like any of my books that you read where there's acorns involved, it's on the eastern or western shore of Lake George.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's where I grew up.
Right.
So, I mean, and there's way more people there, but at the same time, there's way more food there. So,
and rattlesnakes.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but when the rattlesnakes swim across the lake from Tongue Mountain side to the other side, if they catch them in the lake, they paint their tail.
No, I didn't know that.
If they catch them again, then they re-release them someplace else.
Really?
Yeah, so they get 2 chances. And they swim the lake all the time.
They do.
Yeah. So if you go swimming in Lake George in summer, just FYI,
there's rattlesnakes.
They catch rattlesnakes in the summer swimming back and forth.
Really?
I've scouted this area 2 times in the summer. I've seen 2 rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
One each time.
There's like breeding ground for rattlesnakes. Just you guys drove by it on the way here. Like where
I'm sure that's where I'm talking.
Probably.
One was aggressive, one was not. One actually struck at me. I come around a big oak tree, and right as I stepped around it, he lunged at me and rattled at the same time. Yeah. And I jumped, and my 2 buddies behind me, they jumped and were like, oh my God. And then he starts rattling and carrying on. And we let him go on. But then the first one I saw, my father-in-law stepped right over him, and then I almost stepped on him because it was still pretty cool that morning, and he was huge. I mean, he had to have been that fat.
Oh, yeah.
And he was all coiled up, and his head was just sitting there about the size of my fist looking at me, and I'm like, holy shit. I'm a Vermont boy.
Right.
We're not really used to the whole rattlesnake thing.
My main hunting partner, Brian, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago, he sent me and my buddy Jimmy, we have a group text, and he sent us a text, and he's got a rattlesnake in his yard. He lives, just over there, Fort Ann or whatever. A couple of days later, he sends us another text in the morning, says, look at what I found in my living room this morning. It was a black snake eating his pet turkey.
Oh, my gosh.
Really?
Yeah, in the house.
In the house. Holy crap.
Now,
snake-rich area.
Now, the black ones, are they like the southern racer snakes?
I think they're rat snakes.
I'm not a snake guy. I have no idea.
I think they're rat snakes or water snakes.
Or milk snakes or something. I don't know what
milk snake's like a spotted adder.
I don't know what it is.
If I'm not mistaken, if the black ones are the rat snakes or racers, whatever they call them, I think they call them something different wherever you're at. But you actually want them around because they actually kill and eat the poisonous ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he was eating a turkey.
A bad Larry.
Yeah, that's a little different. He's eating the turkey, but
wow. Yeah, so I guess you have a lot of sheds in here as well. Is shed hunting something that you do as a hobby, or do you just find them by happenstance being in the woods
pretty
scouting?
Area.
Yeah.
No, we've never shed hunted, but I have probably more sheds than most shed hunters.
You do have a lot of sheds.
But you haven't seen that.
But you don't shed hunt.
No.
But that tells me something. That just tells me that you're in areas that hold.
No, they're from all over the place.
Right.
I mean, but what it does tell me is my father's found most of them, and I told him, stop looking at the ground, you'll kill more deer.
You hear that, Connor?
Yeah.
Look up. No, it's funny. He doesn't need to kill more. Yeah. He's killing enough. But yeah, it's funny. I do shed hunt every winter now. Definitely gotten kind of addicted to it. But I think it's made me a better deer hunter because I'm having to hunt the deer. I'm hunting the deer after he's lost his antlers. I'm hunting where he was, and I'm learning about him, and it's just more time in the woods.
I have friends that shed hunt all the time. Like, screw that. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. A lot of guys like you. A lot of guys like you that don't do it. I like it. But.
You're young and energetic. I'm old and lazy.
It's a lot of miles. I'm doing, a lot of days, 10, 12 miles.
My buddy Josh that I hunt with all the time, like he does it nonstop.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, whatever, dude. Go walk around in the snow, have fun.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it is fun. Finding
but you're taking the time that you probably, like most guys are using for shed hunting, you're using it for summer scouting and.
To be honest, I don't do much scouting anymore.
Really?
Well, you probably got a catalog built up. Right?
Well, I mean, without sounding arrogant, like I know where I go and kill a deer.
Right.
Like, so
well, so that's what stood out to me. You made a comment about keeping a journal every day that you go out.
Yeah,
now that's
a good point.
I think there are people that do that, but that's not something you hear about a lot. Mm-hmm. I think
it takes a lot of time and dedication. But like if I want to look at something, I'm like, okay, like that was really good. I thought it was good about this time. If I go back and look at it, I'm like, okay. Like one thing that people don't realize, and I could be totally wrong, but a couple of years ago, I was hunting with my buddy Brian, and on Halloween, I knew we were going to kill a big buck because 3 years in a row, there was all these big bucks in this one area. So we're like, okay, we'll block it off and we'll kill them. And it was like 3 miles in. And what I did is I decided I'm not going to go to my spot, even though my spot was good, the spot that I had.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll go down there because it's going to be a sure bet. And we had a perfect morning. So I took the day off from work. I went in there with him. We didn't see a damn deer. I'm like, but they had been in there every year for 3 years in a row. I think what happens is like Halloween deer, like does go into heat early. So every buck in the woods knows that there's a doe that lives there. It's going to go into heat. And that year she must not made the winter. And she wasn't in there. So
yeah.
None of the, so then I got back to where we, where I had service or on my phone, and I should have gone to my spot. Because they were all there.
Oh, so, gotcha.
Yeah. So and I think like Halloween deer, like everybody's like, oh, you got to find a doe that's early. No, just find where a doe lives that comes in early because she's going to be there next year.
Right.
So like Halloween deer are easy to kill if you know where a doe or a family group of does. If one of them comes into heat there every year because she'll come in early every year.
Right.
And that's just totally my philosophy, but from what I've seen by journal keeping and stuff, because what it is, it'll last for a number of years and then it'll stop. And that's the only thing I can correspond it to.
Yeah, that doe,
the doe.
Either coyote got her or something happened to her that
she's not there anymore.
Yeah, that would actually make a lot of sense because Brett Joy talks about that a lot. There are certain areas that he knows in certain dates
that correspond. Yeah,
right. Where a doe must come into heat.
Yeah. And Halloween's like usually a dead giveaway. I mean, because it's early enough. It's before everything.
Right.
And the thing is, like, I mean, I know they're in heat because like on the trail cam or whatever, like they're chasing the doe like on the video.
Right.
Like, so it's not like I think they're in heat.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and it seems like, in my observations, just the sitting and the little cameras that I have run in the past, that for whatever reason, that last week of October, that Halloween right into like the first couple of days of November, bucks just are on their feet and they're cruising, making sign, checking all the doe groups around. They're just...
What I've noticed over the years is from the 15th to, let's say, Halloween, and more so towards the 15th, the oldest of bucks seem to be on their feet in the daytime the most that period is what I've noticed for like early rut. It seems like the biggest, oldest ones are looking first. And I don't know if that's because maybe they've built up the knowledge of where those does that come into earliest, so they know before the younger ones do, possibly. I don't know. But I've seen that over the years on cameras that like the top tier bucks, 16th, 17th of October, they're daylighting before like that 2 or 3 year old would be. But I've noticed that.
But I do like the idea of the journal. Now, in your notes that you're keeping in the journal, are you keeping track of what the wind was that day, the barometric pressure, anything like that? Or
I'm not a wind guy.
No.
No. I mean, just
not a scent guy.
Like, honestly, in the wind, like, I mean, just put this into perspective. You have a firearm. If I can see it, I can shoot it, and I'm pretty sure I can shoot it before it's ever going to smell me.
Right.
I mean, might be simpleton, but I mean, bow hunting's a little different. Like if you're in the Midwest or whatever.
Right.
I mean, like I kind of pay attention then.
Yeah.
But like gun hunting, I mean, the deer can come from any place. So right. I mean, I don't really pay attention to it a whole lot. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have one place when the wind's blowing that way, I'm not going to sit there because it just, I know that it's not going to work.
Right.
But it's not like I totally ignore it, but for the most part, I don't worry about it.
Gotcha.
Now, this is kind of another thing about that whole bow hunting the Midwest you just kind of brought up. And this is how I kind of think of the wind when I'm bow hunting. And I've also heard this said before, but I definitely thought of this, was if you're hunting the perfect wind for you, is that buck ever going to travel through there? Because if you're hunting the perfect wind for you, that means...
Yeah, they will.
They will?
Yeah. Like, I mean, like that deer right there. I hunted the perfect wind for that. That's a place I was just talking about.
Yeah.
Like I know enough not to sit there when the wind's bad.
Gotcha.
And this is another thing, okay? Like people always think, oh, if the wind's wrong, then you can't sit there. Well, you walk through the woods all the time, right? You guys hunt? Yeah, okay. How many times do you walk and you have good wind to walk with?
I don't even know what the wind's doing.
Yeah. So the deer are the same way. Like, I mean, I've
in the big woods, yeah, for sure.
I mean, I've killed deer that were walking right to me with the wind blowing at them.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you know what I mean? So, or vice versa, you know,
right.
with it at their back.
Yeah. So I more meant like bow hunting the smaller pieces. So like if you're bow hunting the Midwest, if you're set up on, let's say, like a funnel and the wind's perfect for you and that buck's a Midwestern buck, is he going to go through there with a bad wind? Because I know like some of the bucks that I've killed with the bow were do you get what I'm getting at?
Now I see what you're saying. So if a buck is cruising through a rut funnel on a northeast wind, and you're like, I need to sit it on a south wind because that's my best access and my best.
It's bad for him.
Yeah, it's bad for him. Is he going to use?
Because I think back of the bucks that I've killed with a bow and smaller pieces of woods, they were always unfavorable winds for me, and it seems like I was just ready and he came through and I got him before he smelled me.
Yeah.
But I think in the big woods, back to your point, I really don't think. I think the bucks, they're using the wind, but they're not using the wind like a Midwestern buck would.
I don't know. I've killed a lot of deer in the Midwest. It's the same there.
Same thing? Yeah.
It's, I mean, I hunt pretty heavily hunted areas in the Midwest. And
they still don't really care about it.
In my experience, I mean, they care about it.
Sure.
But it's not like deer don't walk along, okay? Deer are simple.
Sure.
I mean, they're not smart. I mean, people say, oh, they're so smart. They're not smart. I mean, they're just habitual. And they live on instincts. You know what I mean?
Do you think the bigger ones in the Midwest are smarter than the ones that get killed at 3?
Not necessarily, no.
You think they're luckier?
No. To be honest, I think a lot of big deer get dumber as they get older.
Sure. Because their senses dull?
Well, what happens is they get so used to doing
complacency.
Okay, the reason, you see a lot of big deer killed, and it's like, holy shit, we finally killed this deer. And I think it's because they're just like, I've done this a zillion times. Like, but who knows? Because they don't think in human.
No, they don't think like us.
You know what I mean?
That's what goes back to that. We have a brain this big, they have a brain this big kind of thing.
I mean, but I think, I'm a firm believer. Like, my buddy Jimmy killed deer a couple of years ago in the Adirondacks. It scored just under 160.
Wow.
I had years of pictures of that deer. The deer never showed in the daylight. That year, he's just started showing up in the daylight. And then he killed him, I won't say easily, but he killed him way easier than what it was trying to kill him previously. But we had more data then, too.
Right. Now, I will say to that point, I think you're onto something there. I think deer get complacent in their old age, just like people do. And I do think their senses dull just like people do. So their eyesight's not as good. Their hearing's not as good. Their sense of smell is probably not as good. And they're also full of arthritis and they can't run as far and so they're thinking a little differently.
Right.
I think back of, the bucks that I've killed tracking, I'll just use for an example. The biggest bucks I've killed tracking, it seems like those deer were the easiest to kill, if that makes sense. Like the deer, the biggest bucks that I've killed tracking were the easiest track jobs. And I think it has something to do with their senses being dulled.
Right.
Now, I think they can also develop a lot of tricks that maybe a younger buck wouldn't have. But man, it seems like when you kick a 3-year-old or a 2-year-old buck in the butt, you're in for it. And they're going to take you.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like those bigger ones, they try to get a little more
I mean,
crafty.
I guess I've seen a little bit of all of it. I mean, I have tracked some bucks that I know were older bucks because like they would do things that a young
smarter.
buck, right? They would do things like take you through a brook or walk up a brook a little way. There are just things, some older things, but I do agree with the older deer because
becoming complacent.
This does not come from me. I have heard this through many of things I've read and heard, like other guys that have hunted a lot of older bucks out in the Midwest. But it seems like as a buck gets older, their core area starts to shrink. Like they don't stay as kind of nomadic. But I think we've had that same conversation. I can kind of agree with it some, but I still think a deer is a deer.
I think it's
every deer is different.
That's what I was just going to say.
Exactly.
Deer to deer.
Like my buddy Jimmy, the same guy. Like he killed a deer a couple of years ago. Adirondack deer. It scored 143. Okay. I have a picture of the deer 2 days beforehand. The deer is old, 8 miles away.
It's poke.
So
that's a long ways.
So did that deer slow down?
Right. No, yeah,
exactly.
I do think deer are like people, different in the way that they go about living their lives.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Some deer are more territorial. Some deer are more. I mean, I can tell you the biggest buck that I ever hunted in Vermont was a pushing 150-inch 9-pointer. He didn't lay down any sign. Very, very little. Very little. And I think that was one of the contributing factors of how he reached such an old age. Was he was living in an area that had pressure. Another thing about that deer is he had a very small foot. So he wasn't the trackers weren't pursuing him as much as if he would have had a normal size foot for an older deer. So I think there's contributing factors to what, makes a deer live a long time. And one of those being personality, like his. He just, like you'll find a buck, like I'm sure you found them. They just love to murder trees the size of your thigh, all over the ridge, and those are the funnest deer to hunt. But then there's also deer that it seems like they'll tickle a few saplings. And was that him?
No, that deer up in the corner.
Yeah.
He rubbed a bunch of little tiny trees that big.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Right. And if you didn't know,
there's no evidence that there was a big deer.
And that's like that 150 I was just telling you about. It's like, how do you even know that there's a big deer? The only reason I knew there was a big deer in there is because I had set a trail camera in there and I got a picture of him. I was like, there's a giant buck in here, So I started hunting him, and that's when I kind of figured out he didn't really lay any sign down. It's like, well, how do you, So that's when I kind of went back to I was basically hunting him on like funnels and stuff like that. It's the only thing you could hunt him on. You couldn't hunt him on like a scrape or anything.
Right.
He wasn't laying them down, but it's cool. Do you find that in the deep, deep woods of the Adirondacks, do the bucks lay down a lot of sign, or are they not laying down a lot of sign?
Every place is different.
Really?
I mean, I've seen some places where there's a lot of sign and some places where there's not. If a deer is laying down a lot of sign, I'm pretty sure I can kill it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just, it makes it easier.
Right. Yeah. Pieces to the puzzle.
And if he's coming back, like, if he's in an area where he's bringing a lot of sign back, like it's like, okay, it's
he lives right here.
Yeah.
At some point, he's living right here. Yeah. Now, so it's obvious that you do use cameras. Now, the camera use that you're using, You're not really using your cameras to kill deer. Are you using your cameras to?
I just want to know what's there.
Locate inventory.
So you're trying to find a big one.
I want to find deer to kill.
Right. You want to find a big one that you want to hunt.
And then I want to make sure when I'm there, like I'm not shooting a deer that's not the deer that I'm after.
Gotcha.
Because if I like say I got a good deer in there, but I'm like then I have a better deer. It's like the one that I just told you about with my father, where I thought he killed
the 7
that
deer.
That's the deer I wanted to shoot, but there's no way I was letting that deer go.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yep, absolutely.
So, I mean, it's just the way it is. And
what's the largest deer you photographed in the Adirondacks?
Photographed with me in it, or
No, no, with a game camera.
I have no idea. I mean,
there's not one that sticks out.
I got a lot of big deer.
No, I'm saying what's like the one that you hunted that you didn't get? Is there one of those?
That 6-pointer ticked me off. Yeah,
really?
That's
Mega?
the one. No, I mean it. I don't know. I mean, I got a lot of big deer.
I didn't know if there was like one freak, like giant, non-typical, or something crazy.
The 6-pointer.
He was that big, huh?
Yeah, I'll show you a picture.
I would love to see a picture.
Yeah,
he was that big.
I would, because if he's as big as that one that you showed us when we walked in the door,
dwarfs that deer.
Was he a
Holy
deep,
moly.
deep back in, or
yeah,
was
yeah.
really? Yeah. See, that's what drives me nuts. I love that.
We have this conversation all the time at work. He's like, man, he goes, I just think those real big ones and the Adirondacks are like 7, 8, 9, 10 miles.
They are, dude. They are.
Well, at the same time, like I've always been on your thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, because that's always like, I'm going farther. But then when my dad got sick, we didn't know how he was going to be able to hunt the next year because, he lost a lot of strength and couldn't walk that well. And so what I did that year, I concentrated on finding someplace next to the road. Like, so I did all this like stuff right next to the road. And I got a 150, 160 on camera, like right next to the road.
Wow.
Really?
And he lived there.
But it's funny because that kind of goes back to that whole. Do you know the name Dan Infault?
Yeah, I know Dan.
He talks about that a lot too. A lot of those
Dating the
guys,
fat chick?
Yeah,
That's what he calls it.
Yeah.
Dating the fat chick. Yeah,
everybody walks by him, and they're bedded right next to the parking lot.
I am the worst, and I've been getting better at that. But
I killed a really big deer in Ohio. It scored like 150.
Yeah.
And I could see the road. And
wow.
And it was right next to the parking lot. Everybody walked past it.
Yeah.
And the only reason nobody hunted it is because it was straight down like this. So it went straight down like that, and then there's a creek bed went down around a corner, a bunch of thick stuff in there, and I killed 2 really big deer in there. I killed 12-pointer with forked brow tines.
Yeah.
And I killed that giant 10-pointer.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, man, when I remember when I started, I definitely got rewarded for going deep, but if I was going to set up a camera, it was going to be at the farthest point from when I walked at the truck. You know what I mean? Like I thought I was like, I had to go farther, deeper, farther. How many hours does it take me to get back there? If it's not 3, it's not good. It's like I would walk by all this sign because I got to get back.
But I think that's that evolution of a young hunter to a hunter that matures. Because I was that kid once. I used to think you needed to shoot a 3.5-inch mag with the heaviest load that you could to kill a turkey. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
sure.
So it's, I think that's just a lot of the mentality. It's part of that maturing.
I mean, I think some of it is too, like some people just want to explore.
Some of us are definitely gypsies.
The next hill, like, and I like bite little pieces off at a time. And then before, like I've never thought I was good in the woods, but then afterwards I'm pretty good in the woods, and but it's because I take a little bit of time, little bit.
You learn it
just aimlessly wandering around the woods,
right?
I mean, and then I think that once you have more intimate knowledge of the woods or whatever, it makes it a lot easier,
right?
So
I'm the aimless guy.
Well, I mean, my buddy Brian, I mean, he's that guy. He's a way better hunter than me, but I'm a better killer.
Because you just zone in on specific.
Like if I want a spot, he'll have the spot. Like he way better hunter than me.
Right. He'll tell you here, if you sit here for 7 days straight, you'll kill a big buck.
100%.
Yeah.
And then he always says to me, well, how do you kill big bucks every year? I'm like, because I sit on my ass.
Because I wait.
That's a skill.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And nothing for nothing. Like, I mean, a lot of mine is just pure luck because if I'm walking in the woods, I'm like, something just clicks and I'm like, I got to go there. and I might have left thinking I was going to go someplace else, and then something says, no, go there. So then I just go there, and it's like it worked out. Like I shot one deer, and my father's coming in there, and he's like, and I told him where to sit, and I said, I think it's pretty good there. I said, go down in there and sit, and, and we'll meet at noon or whatever, and then we'll do whatever for the afternoon. So we get to the place where I'm going to sit, and I said to him, I said, you should sit here today. I said, something tells me you should sit here today. He's like, no, I'm going to go down in there where you told me before. I said, no, you should sit here. And he's like, no, I'm going down in there. I said, okay, I'll sit here then. And then I killed a pretty big buck that day.
You got the intuition.
So then he, because I had already killed a big deer in the Midwest or whatever. So when we came home, like I wanted him to kill a big deer. And no, he wanted to go down there. So then he went down there. I shot the deer and I said, okay, just come up when you're ready and help me or whatever. So he comes up, and then the next time I went into where he was sitting, like 5 minutes after he got out of that tree stand, buck went by where he was.
Oh, geez.
So,
hey, you got good intuition.
Yeah.
Hunter's intuition, man. Not everybody has it. It's hard to come by.
No,
there's a lot to it, though.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's feel. Yep. I would say you got to feel, and there's something in the back of your mind was telling you that was the spot. Maybe it was you'd seen it before, or maybe
you got the sixth sense.
You do.
If I know ahead of time, where I'm going, like it's almost always good.
Yeah.
But sometimes when I'm indecisive, it's like, and then I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I shouldn't be here. I should be someplace else.
But that's that confidence thing that you talk about all the time.
Yeah.
When you, like you said, when you're when you know that you have that spot in mind, you're almost willing it to happen. But when you're on the edge,
that's another thing, like killing big deer or whatever. Everybody's like, well, how do you do it? And I'm like, I remember the first time I ever talked to Mark Kenyon, and he says to me, what do you do after you've been in a tent for 14 days, you haven't taken a shower, because we tent hunted forever.
Yeah.
And
which I'd love to talk about that too.
And he says, what do you do after 14 days? And you're like, screw this, I'm not getting up today. And I said, seriously? And he says, yeah. He says, what happens then? I said, never had that happen in my life.
Right.
He said, why? And I said, because today's the day. Every day I wake up, I say,
exactly.
Today's the day.
Yep.
And I honestly think that it's really just the power of positive thought. And,
it is.
It's kind of like I could never figure out with archery, why can't I make the cut at the IBO World? Because the cut is the top 5. I'm like, why can't I make the cut? Because I knew I shot well enough to. And then I started writing down, I'm the IBO World Champion. I'm the IBO World Champion. Then I became the IBO World Champion.
It's real.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
And hunting's the same way.
Right.
It's a real thing.
Yep. I always say today's the day. And then they all laugh at me. They're like, you said that yesterday. I'm like, well, today's the day.
Right. Yep.
And I could go days last year, it was horrible. I lost my job, 34 years or whatever, same job. And I always had unlimited time during hunting season. And so I said, screw it. I'm not going back to work, because if I go back to work, I'm not going to have any time off. So I'll just hunt all season. So I'm like, oh, it's going to be the best season ever. It was the worst season I've had. I got to the last day and everybody's like, ever since I was old enough to hunt, I've never not filled my tag. And I'm like, this is the year. And I had passed some deer up or whatever, but I'm like, I'm okay with it, whatever. And shortly after daylight, I saw a pretty good one and I killed it. And I'm like, holy shit. Then they're like, how do you keep going like that? And
right.
I'm like, just today's the day.
Yeah. And you enjoy it.
Yeah.
You have to enjoy being in the woods.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a sitter and I probably average 5-6 miles a day.
Right.
I mean, most people say that, but they really don't.
Right.
They really don't.
Well, and I know him and I have talked about that on a lot. Is you hear people talk about distances, and as bad as I hate to say this, I'll call an elephant out in the room when I see it. To me, sometimes people take it as a chest pounding thing, like, sure. I walk this far, but they don't really realize how far that is.
They don't.
It's
like I have a place that I hunt, and to get there is like a mile, a little more. It's the worst mile you can ever walk in your life.
Yeah.
But then I have other places that I go 3 miles, and it's like pretty easy walking.
Right.
flat trail.
Yeah. And so, I mean,
it's all relative.
Yeah.
And
the one place I have, like, it's almost right next. Like, I can hear cars on the road. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. It's probably the best spot I got.
No kidding.
Yeah, but it's like you got to cliff climb and do all sorts of other stuff, and like it can get a little hairy. But at the same time, it doesn't get hunted as much because most smart people aren't going to do that.
Right.
Yeah, it's common sense.
Nobody's ever accused me of being smart. So I'm pretty safe there.
Right.
No, that's cool. Yeah, that definitely, the distance thing gets blown out of proportion sometimes. And I know I had fallen into the trap when I was younger. I would feel bad if I hadn't done 10 miles every day.
Yeah.
I felt like I had to do 10 miles every day. And if I didn't, I felt like, oh man, you're not trying.
Right.
And when I really let go of that is when I saw a big leap in my success, because it's like sometimes it's not about doing 10 miles every day.
No.
Like if the spot is a mile and a half in and you got to hang in there, that's what you got to do.
Right.
You know, I was measuring my days off my mileage on my phone, and don't get me wrong, I would run into bucks doing 10 miles a day, but you know, tracking's another side. You know, it's another story. You know, if you tracked one for 10 miles, was it actually a successful track? I think the ones that you get under a mile is the real successful ones, right? You know, so I guess, you know, it's all about how you look at it. But I know shed hunting too. Shed hunting seems like I can tell you about how many miles per shed, and I know not a lot of other guys can tell you too. In the Northeast, it's about every 10 miles for an antler. So, you know, it's just a way of measuring.
You gotta love it.
You do have to love, and
it's
it keeps
a game
me,
of love.
It keeps me in shape.
If I had my box of sheds, you'd be scared.
Oh, I'd be drooling. I love sheds. Yeah, I love sheds, man. I do.
All found in hunting season.
Right. That's wild. Yeah.
Right. But like you said, I think the advantage that you have is you're taking chunks. So you're really getting intimate with a small chunk, and then you're moving to the next one. He's doing look like a little squiggly line going through the woods. You know what I mean?
Big loops, big circles.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. I know it's funny. Sometimes pieces that I've hunted my whole life, I'll find like good little spots in it. Like now to this day, I'm like, oh, this is, because I think that's another thing too, guys. And I don't know if you've ever noticed this too, is like once you'll start kind of hunting, or let's call it a range, you'll kind of like hunt it the same way.
Oh yeah.
Just because of maybe how the terrain lays, or you saw a big one there one time, so you always kind of like you do that wiggle the same way every time. And it's like, as people, we're so habitual and we fall into that trap. And then it's like, okay, sometimes, you know, maybe you change it up for whatever reason. It's like, oh my God, look at this signpost or something that you'd never found. And that brings up another thing I wanted to ask you. Do you find a lot of big signposts in the Adirondacks?
All depends on the area. Like some areas there are some big ones.
Really?
Like other areas, no. It all depends on the area. Like southern Adirondacks down here, like near where I live, there aren't a lot.
And do you have a theory why?
Not really, no. I would think down here, like in all reality down here, like most of the ones I find are like in boggy, swampy areas, and we just don't have that down here, like in the areas that I hunt. And another thing, like down here, the deer just don't get to age like they do up there.
Right.
I mean, like down here, if you shoot a 3.5-year-old deer, then you shot
a good one.
Pretty good deer.
Yeah.
So my theory with the no signposts in this area is because, and in a lot of the Adirondacks, is because of the deer are so food dependent, and the shifts can be so drastic from year to year that you don't have the bucks maybe in the same areas, as in like if you have a lot of cutting or a lot of swamps, the bucks are there year after year after year after year after year. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So like in Maine, where it's a working forest and this bog's always been here, that's why you're going to find those signposts, because for 100 years there's been big bucks in that bog. Now you take a ridge over here in the Adirondacks, maybe one year there's acorns on the south end of the ridge, the next year there's acorns on the north end of the ridge. That's just my theory with it.
Yeah, I don't know, because like if you, I mean, like I'm a little older than you.
Sure. Yeah. No, it's just a theory. I'm just saying it's a theory.
When I was like,
it's called the big buck theory.
We can go with that. Like, I mean, when I was 16, okay, like down here, southern Adirondacks, I I mean, there's still deer in the same place. Like I still kill deer in the same places.
So that kind of goes against my theory of the food.
Yeah, but
pulling
I can understand. I mean, I can understand to an extent.
Yeah.
But even if there's not food there, the deer will still use it
because it's good for getting away from people.
Yeah, it's good terrain feature.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it all depends. I mean, like, yeah, your area is probably, I mean, every area is different.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So, but then would you say then having more older age class bucks is more correlated, like having more older age class bucks is the reason why you're going to have signposts?
I would say yes.
Okay. So then it would be more of that than the and bucks I've always being in the same area every year.
Right. And I've always kind of wondered if it's tree type too. because a lot of times, like I find it, like especially like in the southern Vermont area, most of the ones that I'm seeing them on are on like black birch.
Well, I think they'll do signposts on any tree.
Right.
Like in the Midwest, it's cedar and popple. For us, like you said, black birch is pretty popular.
Right.
I've even seen signposts on hardwood trees. It's just a perfect tree that they like to rub on. You know, like an oak tree that gets rubbed on all the time.
I've seen some pretty good ones on big beech trees.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, where it's all scarred up. Yeah.
I mean, it all depends. I think that's more like the area where it is. Like,
Right.
I mean, I know where there's one here on the East Shore of Lake George, and it's I mean, it's on a pretty steep, mountain or whatever, right inside of it. And it's a beech tree.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, and it's right on the, like, you look at it, you're like, why would the deer ever go back there?
But I do think that has to play the biggest role with it, though, because
the older age class
bucks that just keep, because it's that constant rotation, and it seems like they're the ones that are hitting it, and then the young ones come hit it as well.
Well, I mean, I've also heard the theory that the signpost it's the tree that's on the edge of multiple bucks' ranges, and I don't necessarily believe that. I think it's more or less the tree is in the perfect location.
Right.
That's what
it's even then, like a lot of those trees, like, I mean, they get hit, but not all that often. Like if you put a camera on a signpost, like it might not get hit every year.
No.
I mean,
no.
Bucks walk by the ones that I've noticed. So even if they don't get hit, they walk by them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's in the perfect location that bucks are going.
I have a prime example of that one. I found one year, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to put a camera on that. I mean, it was on a black birch, big one, all scarred up. You could just years and years of.
Yep.
I thought for sure I was going to get a picture on him. It went like a year, almost 2 years without getting any. So I took the freaking camera down. The next year I went back and looked at it, and it was all tore up. I'm like, what the hell?
That's the universe playing tricks.
Oh,
yeah, for sure.
I have a tree like that. Like, I'll put a camera on it once in a while, and then the year that I don't,
it gets all, it's all.
Maybe it's the camera then.
Yeah. No, I think it's the deer nose.
Yeah, they know. Yeah, they smell
actually,
you.
that same tree. Okay.
Yeah, Todd Mead's been in here.
Yeah.
Rubbing that tree.
the same tree. I went and pulled the camera off it one day, and this is like 2.5 miles in the woods, and there's no trail in there. It's not like a state trail or anything. It's just kind of randomly in the middle of the woods.
Right.
I went down there. I pulled it off. I'm like, it was on that signpost. There was nothing on the signpost. I'm like, I pulled the card out and I'm looking at it. It was the creepiest thing I ever saw. There was this woman with a yellow sweater on, just standing there. Like, there's no reason why anybody should have ever been there. Like, it was so creepy. I'm like, is that a ghost?
Right. That's odd.
It made no sense.
Was it during the day?
Yeah, it was during the day.
Okay.
Huh.
That's better than being in the middle of the night.
Right.
If it was 2 a.m., I'd be like, oh, what's going on?
Right. It was during the day, but it was just weird. Like, there was no
rhyme or reason.
There's no clue why she would have been there. And it looked like she was lost, and she was old. It wasn't like she was young. She was old.
That is odd.
I was like, there was no terrain feature that would have brought you there. Like, it just it was random. It creeped me out. Like,
that is strange.
Like, I didn't go back there for a long time because it creeped me out.
Yeah, right.
That is weird.
I'm not going back there.
You go back there and find a yellow sweater.
Yeah.
On the ground.
You start finding the little stick men hanging from the trees.
and she had
rock piles.
She had glasses. It was just, it was weird.
Huh. That is strange.
Yeah.
So I have one. Out of all the bucks that you've pursued, especially in the Adirondacks, like running all? Is there one that really stands out in your mind? Maybe it's one you ended up getting, or maybe one that you didn't get.
Yeah, the 6-pointer.
That all goes back to that one.
Wow, back. That one really bugs you.
Oh yeah, it bothers
Now,
me. You want to know why?
Why?
This is why it bothers me. Because I had so many daylight pictures of the thing. It's like it was just walking around me.
Oh,
like what the hell? Like why
Houdini.
Why can't I see the deer?
Right.
Like
maybe he was the smart one using the wind.
He could have been.
Right.
I don't know though. I mean, he like every place that I wasn't, he was, and every place I was, he wasn't.
Right. Maybe there's something to that.
It could be.
There's deer like people in a way. Some are smarter than others.
Right.
That one must have been smart.
Right. He could have been a smart one.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could look at it this way too. Everything's meant to be. You know what? That buck was meant to be yours.
Yeah, but it wasn't like that.
That buck had you had a vendetta on that one.
The only reason I want to kill that deer because like I can tell you nobody else have a deer like that.
Right.
That big, huh?
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Jeez.
So,
what's the farthest back you've killed a buck in the Adirondacks?
Oh, I don't know.
Roughly.
If I were to guess, 3.5 miles.
From the road?
Yeah, from the road.
That's far.
Yeah.
Now, that brings up
maybe a little more. I mean, because you can come in that area, you can come in by water, or you can go in by foot.
Mm-hmm.
And it might have been, I don't know, it's probably in that
3, 4.
Yeah, because it was exactly in the middle of the two roads.
Pieces.
Of water.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, on a kill like that, would you? If the water was closer, would you get the deer to water and then walk back out and come in from water to get the deer?
To go there where the water is, there's no walking out. No, you'd have to have a boat there.
Gotcha.
I hunted it both ways, but the water got too scary. So
gotcha.
Then we started walking in. So like that deer got it back to the tent, and then when we got back to the tent, took it out next day or whatever.
Do you quarter them?
It all depends. Yeah. All depends on we got them out multiple ways. In there, we always brought our gear in and out with a 1-wheel deer cart. One guy pushes, one pulls. It's got a wheelbarrow wheel.
Yeah.
So you can bring a lot of gear in and out that way.
Yeah.
And so that deer went out in a deer cart.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now I think the tent hunting in the Adirondacks is such a killer way to do it because, I've hunted a lot of the Adirondacks and it seems like the good stuff that I've hunted that's far back. I mean, literally half your day is the commute.
Yeah.
Half of it. Yeah. So I could see the benefit of being back there.
The only downfall about that, because I've hunted a lot of places, I've seen where people have put tents in really good spots, and it's like, dude, you just fucked that all up.
Guys,
I understand
that would totally make sense, though.
You got to know enough where the fringe is,
yeah.
Right?
And I'm sure we've had tents in bad spots. I mean, because sometimes you don't have choice. It's just
right.
It is where it is. I mean, and we had tent in one spot, and the guy in the back of the guide boat up there. I mean, he shot a deer right sitting behind the tent.
That's awesome.
So
that's awesome.
Then at nighttime, we've had deer outside the tent blowing, right directly outside the tent.
Yeah.
What in the world are you guys doing?
Right. What is this white thing here?
Yeah. So,
now, I'm assuming that when you're picking a location for a tent like that, you have to kind of use your best knowledge as far as the closest water source, things like that. Because if you're needing water to cook or you need water to...
One thing, you got to be on high ground. We learned that the hard way. Because if it rains, you're screwed. If you don't have it trenched. You need a trench. Because if you're not, you're going to be standing in water.
No.
I just barely read an article out of the Maine Sportsman's Magazine of some guys from Michigan that came up to Maine for a moose hunt. And the first night they set, they didn't trench their tent out. And it was like a
Learn
lake.
the hard way.
Oh yeah, it was pretty interesting. Hear that say that. This now hearing the trenching thing, it makes
bad.
a lot of sense.
Yeah, and there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, you got to make sure you have enough wood.
Yep.
I mean, when I was hunting out of that tent in that area, it was nothing to be 15 below zero. I mean, it was.
Wow.
I've hunted in some cold stuff. The coldest deer I ever shot, it was either, I can't remember, 14 or 16 below zero when I left my truck.
Wow.
Yeah, and I killed it at, I killed it 8 o'clock in the morning, and it was still below zero. I mean, it was nasty.
That is crazy. That's crazy.
Kidding.
I think the coldest day that I've hunted was a muzzleloader up north and that was 11 below 0. And I couldn't. I literally had to walk. I couldn't stop. And then I literally got. I just remember walking to this one tree, and I'm standing there, and I got my gloves like tucked into my sleeves, and I'm like, how am I gonna gut a deer today? Because I knew, I'm like, I'll be good once I get my hands in there, but the minute I take my hands out, there's no way I won't be able to function. I couldn't even hardly get the safety off.
Wow. Yeah.
My dad and I were hunting like that. We came back from the Midwest, and we were going in to scout this area, and my cousin had told me it was pretty good in there. So we went in there, and it was freaking cold, and I couldn't keep warm, even though we were walking. And it was like, it was off like a state trail.
Yeah.
And we got in there, it was like 2.5 miles in there, and then we decided to cut off, and we cut off, and we started walking. My father's in front of me, and I stopped, and he turns around, and he's like, I'm like, there's a buck right there. I mean, he was standing like right there.
Yeah.
And he's like, what is it? I'm like, it's an 8-pointer. He said, shoot it. I'm like, because I had already killed a pretty big deer in the Midwest, and that deer I want. And so then the deer takes off running, and he sees it because he couldn't see it. Even though I could see it, he couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Deer takes off running. He's like, shoot it. And like, I'm like, okay, bang. And I shot it. It went right over. And then we went over there. My hands were so cold that because I had my glove off.
Yeah.
I couldn't even gut the deer. He gutted the deer, and then I stuck my hands in the chest cavity.
Well, yeah, he killed it to warm up.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was going to say,
cool.
have you ever... this was another day. I think it was like 7, might have been like 9 below was the coldest point. I just remember I had stopped midday to have a coffee to warm up. Because when I used to hunt all day, I used to carry a backpack and coffee. And so I'll never forget, I pulled my sandwich out that day.
It was frozen.
And I went to take a bite. And
rock.
That was the last time I ever made a meat sandwich, ever, for deer hunting. I'd never do it again. It literally...
Buddy, at 9 below, it doesn't matter what your sandwich is.
I don't care.
The bread freezes at 9 below.
I was going to say, but peanut butter and jelly, I can tolerate.
It'll still be frozen.
Yeah. But a meat sandwich tastes totally different. So when you...
I know.
When it's frozen.
I killed one down in the Catskills on, I want to say it was December 18th. It was muzzleloader.
Yeah.
And it was like as cold as you were saying, kind of. It was down below that 15 below range. And I killed him later in the day, and I started dragging him, and my buddy was on the next mountain over, and he was supposed to walk up the brook that I was dragging him kind of down along. Well, it's getting dark, and it's cold, and my buddy's still not coming up the brook, and I was like, something's wrong. And I remember my sweat was starting to crust up on my forehead, and that's when I was like, okay, I should probably think about getting out of here because this could be dangerous. Like if I roll an ankle or something, I'm screwed, because I'm working right now. I'm hot, but when the sweat started to do the crusties on my forehead, I was like, it's time to leave this deer. So I pull my jacket up, put it on the deer, and I started walking down. I get down to the truck. My buddy's nowhere to be found. Well, there was the brook wide. He went up the left, and I was to the right. So I ended up pacing back and forth by the truck to stay warm until he got back. I almost took off hoofing it for a house because I was going to call somebody because I was worried. I was getting worried about my buddy because it was dangerously cold that night. But anyways, he ended up coming back down to the truck, and we're like, oh my God. Yeah, we ended up at Applebee's that night. It was all good. Got the deer the next day. It was all right. But the coyotes never got it. But that's the only time I had to leave a deer. It was too cold. Too cold to drag.
There you go.
Yeah, when we got to the deer the next day, it was like a board. Maybe that's why the coyotes didn't eat it.
Yeah, probably.
That thing was talk about drag good.
I've left a lot of deer overnight, and nothing's ever got it. I usually put my clothes over top of it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what Yeah.
That's
what I heard. Somebody told me when I was young, leave your coat on it. Well, when it was 10 below, 15 below, it's kind of a shitty night to leave your coat on it.
I always have so many clothes with me in my backpack, I find something in there.
Right. I do know that one of our friends, actually it was Tim Marimonis that told Jeremy about to hang them upside down with their face facing the ground. Coyotes won't touch them. So something about like it freaks them out. Like they might come up and smell it, but they won't touch a deer hanging by its feet.
That's a podcast you should listen to that we did. A guy named Timmy Miramontes.
Yeah.
He's an older gentleman from Vermont and just a killer. And just he's unique in a lot of the ways that he's just cool. Like one of those guys.
Super interesting.
Guy. And that's like what we try to do with the podcast is highlight some of these people that it's like, oh my God, this guy is like super unique and killed a lot of big deer. And, but anyways, being a diabetic, I kind of want to circle back to that. How does that make your hunting? Like how does that affect your hunting? Cause I can't imagine.
I'm no different than you.
There's nothing that you have to do special.
When I grew up, the whole thing was don't be different.
Sure.
So, I mean, I got to pay attention. But,
so I mean, I guess that's more or less what I mean. Like, how do you manage?
I mean, like, honestly, I don't really think about it. I mean,
it's probably become second nature.
Yeah, I mean, you have to make sure you have food.
Okay.
Because if you don't have enough food and you're screwed, I can die.
Right.
I mean, and I got to have enough stuff to eat. So if I don't have as far as like sugar, carbohydrates, stuff like that.
So what do you take with you? Like kind of like candy or?
I take everything with me.
And
the
whole
kitchen
fridge.
sink.
Yeah.
I carry way too much stuff.
Right.
But I'm not going to die in the
Well, that's life or death.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So,
there is no toughing it out there.
Yeah. And I mean, I like hunting season because I can eat candy. So.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and you don't realize how many calories and stuff you're actually burning when it's cold.
When you're just sitting there, you burn calories like my blood will just go.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So just keeping warm?
Yeah, just keeping warm.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess I've noticed that when I sit dark to dark, I eat just as much as when I'm doing a big tracking day.
And then when you're done, like I mean, if I sit dark to dark, when I'm done, I'm exhausted.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Now, do you feel your eyes hurt just from being strained of looking so hard?
I don't. None of that hurts. 'Cause I don't over like.
Right.
I mean, like I kind of I do what everybody else does,
Sure. So it's funny. You've talked about sitting when it's quiet. I won't do that. I can't because I sit with my ears. I know it's probably funny to hear you, but I don't know if I've even said that to you. But like I told you earlier, I read your book a lot when I'm sitting. I'm sitting with my ears. I sit on crunchy days, either crunchy snow or crunchy leaves.
Right.
And the first inclining of that there's a deer around me is my ears.
Yeah.
I hear them, and then so that I'm not straining my eyeballs because I'm literally just hunting with my ears, and I hear coming. Then I put the book down, get ready. But I can't imagine sitting on quiet days because they could sneak right up on you.
In the areas that I hunt, like I would assume that's more like big hardwood stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I mean, I don't think I can really do that because a lot of times, even on those cold, crunchy days,
you can't hear them.
Still can't hear them coming.
Wow. Yeah.
Because like you're in swampy stuff.
Sure.
I mean, it's hard to hear that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, especially crunchy snow.
Yeah.
I like
crunchy snow.
Crunchy snow's fun because you can hear them coming, man. It's fun.
I to be honest, I like walking on those days.
Sure.
Because I mean, if I just like crunch, as long as you're not like blasting through the woods, you can walk right up on deer. And it's kind of funny because I listen to all the tracking stuff. And I'm like, oh, horrible day for traveling. It's actually a pretty good day. You just kind of still hunt and walk right up on deer.
Well, Todd, the biggest buck I ever killed in my life was on a crunchy snow day tracking. So it is.
Well, and I mean, for me, especially like in Maine, I mean, you got 900 to 1,000 pound, anywhere from a 700 to 1,000 pound animal that also walks through the woods.
Oh, yeah.
That makes a ton of noise. So
big dumb animal crashing through the woods. Yeah.
I've kind of just like, to me, it's normal. And deer hear other deer walking through the woods too.
Sure.
So, yeah.
So it's just, I think it's a cadence and a rhythm in the way that you walk.
That's all it is. Like, are you guys familiar with Randy Flannery?
Yes.
Okay, so like I'm pretty good friends with Randy.
Yep.
And like he's got it perfect. Like 3 steps, stop, 5 steps, stop, 3 steps, stop, and like you walk right up on deer.
Right.
Like walk right up on the deer. Like and it can be loud as hell out.
Yeah.
I mean, so if you do that's why sometimes I just laugh. People are like, "Oh,
Sure.
it's horrible to walk today." I'm like, it's actually a pretty good day.
Have you ever noticed when bucks, and this may just be what I've seen, but have you ever noticed like on a real loud day like that, they'll like walk along and then they'll stop for like 30 seconds and just like really like listen and look around?
Don't deer do that all the time?
Yeah, well, no, I don't think they do it as much on the quiet days. It seems like they slink right along on those quiet days.
I don't know. I mean, I'm older than you, so
Sure.
like, I have a lot more to draw from. In probably a lot more places. But like, I don't know, it's weird. Like some big deer, like those
crash right around.
Past you. But then
probably it's their mood.
I mean, I
maybe.
see a lot of deer. Doesn't matter what kind of day it is. They'll stand there and stand there and stand there.
Really?
Like, holy shit, are you gonna move?
Because they're just looking for predators.
They're just kind of looking around. Like you can see their ears moving.
That's the one thing that I pick up on most deer that I watch. Like, obviously, time of year for me, I have noticed plays a difference, and the setting, like food, watching the way a deer walks, and like how they kind of go down and they'll eat a little bit and then they'll pick their head up and they look around. Everything, even when their head's down and they're eating, their ears are constantly like
on alert.
Yeah,
most of the areas that I hunt in the Adirondacks, the deer aren't feeding. Like they're just
cruising
pretty
right
much
through.
like like not a lot of those deer don't stop.
No,
but like down here, I mean they stop more.
Right.
So it's different. Like every place is different.
Yeah, I'm sure pressure has a lot to do with that too. Yeah. I mean, a lot of the Adirondack bucks that you've hunted probably have never really even seen pressure.
I don't know. I hunt some pretty
pressured areas.
Yeah.
But maybe have you noticed the ones that are like the 4 mile back ones or the 3 mile back ones? Are they all act the same?
No, I mean, you know how it is. I mean, deer are deer, just like we're people.
Sure.
You know what I mean, so like they're all a little different.
Right.
Some are cautious and some are. I mean,
it's funny,
right?
Yeah, because I guess I haven't hunted a lot of deep stuff, like a lot. So I guess, but I would imagine that there's some deer that hadn't been hunted yet. I would imagine that maybe they were easier, I don't know, walk up on or whatever, because they've never been pushed around. Or
well, I mean,
I don't know if that's real or not.
No, I do. I think it is, because I think it goes back to like when you. And I think I've mentioned this multiple times, but when Lanny talks about when they first started going to Maine, when there wasn't a lot of roads in there and like people were very foreign to Maine deer, a lot of those big ones, they'd get on their track and they wouldn't go very far on them and they'd be standing there looking back like, what the hell are you?
Yeah.
You know,
so I'm sure some of it.
Deer are curious animals. Like, I mean, I've been in the woods before making all sorts of noise and like bucks will walk right up to you. I mean, and then everybody tries to be quiet.
Yeah.
Do you need to be quiet?
Right. Well, and I think a lot can be said by that is in the calling thing too. Like, if a buck is in the mood to come to call, maybe his personality is just aggressive, he's going to come to the call. Now, there are probably other bucks that hear that and they just stand there and they just stare in that direction for a while to make up their mind. Because I've heard a lot of guys talk about that, especially in the Midwestern guys that talk about that blind call. Like when they let out that first call or they see a buck and they call and then you just see him and he's standing out there in the field for a while, you kind of have to make that, all right, do I call again or do I keep him curious? Yeah. Some of them will just go right back down and keep going, and then when you grunt again, they don't even care. But some, you grunt at them again and they're like, and their complete mood changes and they're coming right at you. So
that's an interesting point. Yeah, and back along the lines of, do you need to be quiet? An old Vermonter once told me, and I don't know if I've talked to you about this before, or maybe I've mentioned it on the podcast, but an old Vermonter told me that passed down through generations of Vermonters back in the day, the best way to attract a buck in the mountains was to light a fire. Have you ever heard that?
No, I never heard that one.
Have you ever heard that one?
I have not heard that one.
Oh, yeah. Guys would set up, they'd light a big fire in the middle of the woods, and they'd sit there, and they said the buck they'd be curious, they'd smell it, and they'd come looking. And they'd shoot them.
Maybe I'll light a fire next year.
right. Hey, I guess we got to start testing the theory.
It's what he told me.
How about you do it next year and let me know if it works?
No, I mean, it is an interesting
to me,
thing.
with the noise thing, I guess from what I've noticed in the years, because I haven't been able to sit that much, anytime that I have ever come onto a bed of a running deer or jumped deer is because they saw me first. Yeah. Like it had nothing to do with the noise. They heard the noise and they just laid there and waited. And then once they saw me, I didn't see them yet. And then all of a sudden I look and there's white flags going. And they saw me first. Yeah. I mean, and I've seen that with beds too. Like I'll walk up into a bed and I'll be like, oh, I just jumped these deer. And then I'll kind of crouch down and I'll look to where the bed was facing and where I was coming from, and I'm like, they saw me, or the wind was in their face and they smelt me. It was never really, like you said. I think naturally they're just curious, because if you're just walking along, they're gonna wait there long enough to see what you are. Not all the time. Not all the time. I don't think that happens all the time, but especially if you startle them, then I think they jump up and go. But it just seems like a lot of the deer in the years that I would still hunt is those deer had been standing there a while watching me, and I just hadn't seen them yet, and then they just took off.
I've walked past a lot of big deer and then saw them afterward.
Like a turnaround?
Like in the Midwest, I remember we were walking down a road and we were checking a new place out. We didn't bring our bows.
Yeah.
And it was raining like bad. And we're walking along, and my father goes, and I turned like this, and there was a pretty good 10-pointer, like 130-ish, like right there. Like right there. It wasn't 10 yards, just standing there watching us.
Just going to let you walk by.
So then I think about that all the time. Like, how many deer have you walked by that you never saw and you were pretty damn close to them?
Yeah.
I think a lot.
Yeah.
If deer had guns, none of us would be alive.
No.
That's true.
Nope.
So, yeah.
That's true.
100%.
Well, Todd, this has been a great episode. We're rolling on almost 2 hours now.
Uh-oh.
So
careful.
Yeah.
That's all right. And I'm sure we could go all night, too.
We could. We definitely could go all night. But I think this is a good place to wrap it up, and we really appreciate you taking the time and sitting down with us.
I appreciate you guys visiting.
Yeah, yes. It was a lot of fun.
Well, thank you.
We'd love to do it. And is there anything you want to point the listeners to?
Oh, maybe we should all start fires next year.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I'll mention it again. If we can get to 500 copies of people that want your book. Okay. Pre-sales.
Then we will put Morgan in charge of reprinting the book.
Hey, now you didn't say that before.
Yeah, and I'll give you some money.
Hey, we would love to promote it because it's a great book, man. And I'm sure.
How about we promote the book I have now, since I still have a lot of them?
Right. Okay. Well,
I have it. I do have that book, and it's a very good book.
Yeah. It's a good book. I haven't finished that one yet, but I will.
The funniest part is I never knew that you knew TJ until I started reading that book, and I flipped up and I'm like,
saw him in there.
Huh, that's TJ.
So let's promote that book then. What's the
name of that book is Pursuing Public Land Bucks. So it's basically all my experiences on. People ask me to write a book on how do you do it.
Sure.
So I don't know how I do it. I just go do it.
Yep.
So,
right.
Like, I have my own beliefs. I mean, whether they're right or wrong, who knows? It's just stuff that worked for me.
Theories.
And through writing the book, I just told stories and why something worked for me.
And where can people find the book?
They can find it on my website. It's my name, toddmead.com. So
perfect.
That's easy enough.
And either that or just send me an email and a check, and I'll mail it to you.
Perfect.
So
awesome.
All right.
And I mean, if you like the other book, that's all it is stories. I mean, some of them are from the Adirondacks, but it's from all across the country.
Same kind of thing.
Yeah, I've done, I've succeeded across the country. So it's not really particular to any area. It's all over the place.
Right.
And it's, has to do with, I talk about the wind in there, the moon, all that stuff, and my theories on it.
Sure.
Yeah. Whether they're right or wrong.
This is the right place for theories.
Yeah. I mean,
this is the big buck theory.
Yeah,
so
I mean, I have a lot of theories, and
me too.
I mean, like you could probably prove me wrong, but it's what worked for me.
Absolutely.
And,
right. Well, and you have the note, and you have the notes too, because you keep that journal.
And, back to that. We'll go back to that for a minute. All I write in there is who I'm hunting with, what the weather was, what the temperature was, what I saw, and what I kind of took from the day. Then I just go back and look at it.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty good.
No, that's good.
Yeah. That might be a cool book one day too.
Well, actually, the book that you like, a lot of it came out of that journal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so all I did is, when I wrote the book, all I did is went back to the journal, and I'm like, okay.
Reconfigured it.
Yeah, and I added to it, but it all came from the journal stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do journals online. I mean, most of mine are handwritten.
Right.
But I mean, I do my journal online now. It's just, I just do it online. Some people follow it. Some people
Is that at toddmead.com as well?
There's a lot of stuff on there from the past. There's one thing on there that says hunting journal, one thing that says blog. The blog is just personal stuff that has nothing to do with hunting. The hunting journal, wherever it stopped is when I stopped doing it there.
Yeah.
And I gave the link to where it is now. It's on WordPress now. I don't even know the name of it. I can't remember.
Of the blog?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, hey, if people find it, then hey, they found it.
Yeah. But I mean, that's what I do. I wasn't going to do it last few years because I've ran into trouble doing that. Like I did it, and then people ended up, people that knew where I hunted followed it, and I put pictures in there that I shouldn't have.
Dang.
Yeah.
People following you around.
It happens. We've had that conversation. It's like with the biggest thing for me was people that put their vehicles in these YouTube videos. And I'm like, I mean, I guess if you're nomadic, that's one thing. But, man, I mean, that's kind of like a, here I am.
Yeah.
It's just, so.
Yeah, you got to be kind of secretive.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing is, like, I mean, I found a lot of good places because other people fucked up the spot that I hunted, so I was forced into going someplace else. So
sure.
Like, I don't doubt my ability to go find another place, but sometimes, like, I just want to be left alone. I want to hunt. I want to hunt. That's another thing. People don't have respect. Like, just respect people.
Right.
Like, I mean, if somebody's there, you know they're there. The Adirondacks, 6.5 million acres, and half of that is private. Go find another fucking place to hunt.
Right.
Like, you got to walk in the woods right next to where somebody's parked and go into that piece of woods. Drive down the road a half a mile and go in someplace else. It's one of my biggest pet peeves.
Yeah.
So we'll leave on that note. I can't stand people like that. And it's like, get a life. Like, you can't find your own spot. Like, I've had multiple people follow my tracks.
Oh my gosh.
Like, are you serious?
Yeah. Well, and that's the problem is, and I've had this conversation with him a ton, is people like to take advantage of other people's hard work. If you go and you grind and grind and grind, you give out the slightest little hint, like something in the background of a picture or anything. There are guys that literally will sit there and they're just trying to find something that they can key on to try to get in an area, so it cuts their work in half.
One more question.
Fire.
If you could give your 25-year-old self advice, what would it be?
My 25-year-old self.
Doesn't have to be hunting related.
Ooh, that's tough. You should be like a job interviewer.
Hey.
I can't even remember that long ago.
Well.
If I could be my 25-year-old self, what kind of advice would I give myself? I don't know. I've lived a pretty good life, and I think I've done everything like. If I died tomorrow, like, okay, you guys driving home tonight, if I died in my sleep tonight, you guys, I could tell you both right now that I've lived a complete life. I didn't.
There's not a lot of people that can say that.
No,
I can tell you right now. There's not a lot of people that can say that.
I have no regrets. I mean, I did some stuff maybe I shouldn't have.
Right.
But I have no regrets. Like, I'd do it again. And if I was any advice, like hunting, I probably would change areas a little bit quicker. But because I know things now that I didn't know then, and like I don't. When I was younger, I hunted way too much. Don't get me wrong, I still hunt a lot now.
Yeah.
But like now I'm a little bit like I don't have to go out every day. If it's 95 degrees out, I'm probably not going to go.
Right.
But I mean, I did that up until a very short time ago, and so I wouldn't do that anymore.
You'd be more selective with your time, maybe.
Yeah, because I mean, like when I was younger, I was a little bit more selfish, and it was all about me and going deer hunting and stuff like that. Now I'm like, maybe I should do something different. But so if I had to give myself advice with that, I'd be like, bide your time well. Like, I mean, you have kids, you know what I mean? Like you might have kids.
I have a wife.
Okay, yeah. So like, and sometimes we forget.
Yeah,
and we ask, okay, like, honey, do you mind? Oh no, I don't mind. Well, I never minded, and then I found out when I got divorced, she minded. So you have to be cognizant of that. And
that's good advice. That's great advice.
Oh, absolutely.
Even when they say that you're still
not present.
Yeah, you have to put your time in. Like you have to do what is And I'm not good to talk about this because I mean I've let archery consume my life, and I've let hunting consume my life. But it's my life, so
right.
Sure.
But you're not the only one too.
No.
Dan Infault stopped at our booth, and we were having a conversation with him. And something that hit home to me is he did a podcast with Pat Guyette, and they were talking about like family life and stuff. And I mean, this one like really hit home for me, and was like something along the lines of, and I'm not going to quote him word for word on this, but the greatest hunters that you'll ever meet were probably the worst family men. Yeah. Just because of the time.
I mean, I was probably lucky I didn't have kids.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I can agree with that, because I consider my father one of the greatest hunters. Because I mean, like, the thing that about me is a lot of people know me because I wrote a book. If I didn't write a book, nobody would know me. But like my father, the guy in the picture, Rob, my friend Brian, my friend Jimmy.
Yeah.
They can all outdo me.
Right.
It's just I have the knowledge of that, and they're all good family men.
Right.
Like they are. And so I don't totally agree with that, but I understand what he says.
Right. Yeah, I don't think it was to the effect of like the greatest hunter. I think it was more of the time, like, that the guys that
there's a good chance if it's a good deer hunter, he's probably neglected his family.
That's more or less what he was trying to exactly.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, being diabetic, I learned growing up that, I had to be dedicated and determined. Like, if I wasn't dedicated to take care of myself, I was screwed. So I learned dedication from a really young age.
Right.
And it just stuck with me in everything I've done in life.
Yeah.
And deer hunting included.
Right. It helped mold you into the person that you are.
So we'll sign off with that. And, just be a good family guy.
That's it. That's good advice.
Right.
All right, Todd. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Todd, very much. We appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next one.
See you guys.